Hello, my friends on LinkedIn and YouTube. So great to see you guys. I hope you've been having a great week. Let me get my Facebook group going live with us as well. Looks like it's working and that video is starting. Just want to make sure we are live there. One sec. All right, cool. Let me know in the chat how your week has been. I'm in launch of my 8-week group coaching program, and this last week and this week have felt like a good 60-day time period. So what are we going to talk about today? First of all, I have not officially said happy Friday Eve day to everybody. I can't believe I almost forgot that. I say that every single week. Today, if you've ever wondered why your Facebook ad spend or your LinkedIn ad spend or your YouTube ad spend or Instagram or wherever it is you're spending ad money, if it feels like it's disappearing into thin air, while some coaches and online entrepreneurs seem to grow like crazy without spending a dime, today's training is going to be your aha moment. So we're going to talk about why organic marketing not only beats paid ads, but builds a business that lasts. Because when you build your business organically the right way, like I teach, through consistent visibility, genuine connection, and simple list growth strategies, you create an audience that trusts you. And that is so important, especially in the online space where we are now. But first, I want to introduce myself, just in case this is the first time we've ever met. I am Tracy Beavers. I'm an award-winning business and sales coach, and I'm host of the top-ranked podcast, Create Online Business Success. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, thank you for being a follower and a subscriber. It means the world to me. I teach all organic visibility and list growth strategies, and I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs just like you to get visible and grow your email lists so you can get that consistent monthly income that you really want. And the strategies that I teach get your list growth happening automatically every day in the background of your business without paid ads or creating a truckload of free lead magnets. As I go through today's training and information, if you guys have questions, if you have comments, throw those into the chat. It's always fun to see who is here with me. And if you're watching on replay and you have a question, let me know that too. I'll be happy to swoop in and answer it for you. All right, let's talk about the truth with regard to paid ads. So paid ads have their place in a marketing strategy for every business. But here's what I want you to hear me say. They do not fix what is broken. They do not fix unclear messaging. They do not fix you wanting to run an ad to an offer that you don't have conversions for, and it's not a proven offer. They don't fix a broken funnel. A lot of my students and clients get frustrated with paid ads because they think that running an ad to something is magically going to make it work, magically going to make people buy it. No, a paid ad is going to magnify what you already have going on. So I think we should exhaust all of the free organic strategies that are out there, get our conversions happening before we think about running paid ads. They amplify what's already working or what's already broken. And coaches and online business owners, as coaches and online business owners, we end up wasting money because we haven't built enough visibility, connection, brand trust. We haven't gotten enough conversions, and those paid ads, that money just goes right out the window. They can boost your presence, but they can't build your business. And most people just skip right through the building phase. So most of you guys know, you've heard my sob story about running paid ads twice. So the first time I did it, it was to the very first course I built. I think this was back in, it might've been 2019. I can't remember. But anyway, I had a course that I built loosely on market research. I really didn't do the market research the right way, basically because I just didn't know what I was doing. So I put this course together and I went to launch it with a challenge, a 5-day challenge. Tell me in the comments if you can relate to this. And I decided I was going to run paid ads to it. Now, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know at the time. Nobody had told me that if I didn't already have proof of concept of this course, that my paid ads would likely be a fail. And they were. They were a massive fail. The course, a few people purchased it organically through the launch, but the people that I did manage to attract from the paid ads, they didn't convert. Then I tried paid ads again a couple of years later. Now, this time, I have conversions. This time I knew my offer was proven. It's my 8-week group coaching program, Business Visibility Made Easy. We're in launch for it right now as of the time of this recording. If you are an alum of my program, throw that into the comments. Let everybody know how great it is. But I did not get conversions from that. I attracted probably 300 leads in that promotion time, running paid ads for the launch. They did not convert. And I have clients that have experienced the same results. Now, to be fair, I've also had clients that run ads and they're doing well, but it's after they've used organic strategies to get their list growth and their leads coming in on autopilot, and their offers are selling before they run ads. So let's talk about what organic marketing is. Why do I keep saying organic marketing? So there's organic and there's paid. Paid is paid where you're paying money, whether it's a radio ad, a TV ad, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, wherever you can run ad money. Organic is free. Organic strategies are free strategies. Those are the ones I like the best. So essentially, any strategy that isn't paid for, like an ad, or paying to be a podcast guest, that would be a paid strategy. Paying to be a speaker at an event, that could be a paid strategy. So we're talking about when you don't have to pay for your growth. And it's also organic is also not posting every day and hustling nonstop. A lot of people think that in order to get the traction of the algorithm, you've got to create content 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and exhaust yourself. That is not true. I am living proof that you do not have to do that to have a successful business. So it's not posting every day and doing that hustle on social media. What it is having strategic visibility and content that is strategic, because content for content's sake is just noise. And it's overwhelming to us, the people that are trying to create it. So what do I mean by strategic content? I mean having a plan that allows you to create your content and be consistent with it week in and week out without overwhelm. A system of content creation that flows, feels good for you and your business. So let me give you an example. Here's what I teach in my 8-week, one of the things I teach and we dive deep into in my 8-week group coaching program. And we also have a custom GPT for it, which is really exciting. I want you to pick what your regular piece of weekly content is going to be. Now, I recommend a live video first because there's nothing like live to get the algorithm favor, right? Or a podcast or a blog. Once you decide that, then we work on creating that. I want you to promote that item of regular weekly content. And don't forget about your evergreen content. What do I mean by evergreen content? I mean your things that don't change much. Once you get those lead magnets created, you're promoting them, and your social media posts and things and the verbiage you use and the marketing messaging you use, once you get it dialed in, that's not going to change very much. So I consider that evergreen. Don't forget about promoting your lead magnets. And then I want you to work on building relationships in online communities and Facebook groups. That's why I love Facebook so much, is because there are free Facebook groups where your ideal clients are hanging out, where you can gain massive visibility, list growth, and leads every day that you're in there. I am living proof of that. Even the groups that don't allow promotion of any time. Yet another strategy I teach you in Business Visibility Made Easy. So we're going to build relationships in Facebook groups. We're going to build relationships in other communities that we're in. Maybe they're housed on Mighty Network, Circle, Heartbeat, some of those Slack, School, some of those communities. And we're going to gain visibility and list growth. And then I want you to dial it in even further. I want you to start making some connections. If you follow me for any length of time, you know that I am all about a DM conversation, specifically on Facebook, but I'm starting to get into LinkedIn DM conversations. And over on those platforms I just mentioned, Mighty Network, Circle, Heartbeat, School, you can have DM conversations with members of that group. So I want you to start having some conversations, because conversations are what build your credibility, build those relationships that lead to those conversions that we want. Now, I am not talking about sending cold, spammy messages that feel gross and weird. Please do not do that. And if you decide to do that, then do not mention my name because I don't know who is teaching that strategy. It's horrible. Nobody likes to get cold pitch slapped. That's a dangerous word to say, but yeah. Say it 5 times fast. Anyway, starting real DM conversations that actually are warm, kind, human conversations where you're getting to know other people and they're getting to know you. and you're not selling them anything. You are simply sharing with them what you do. If they need you, they'll let you know. And what kinds of things you're doing for your business. So organic means relationship driven marketing. So the things that I just mentioned are relationship driven marketing. Organic marketing strategies build trust that ads can't build, because ads are not built on relationships first. Ads are built with a cold audience. And then, so you're trying to turn cartwheels with your paid ads. I picture running paid ads as like picturing the visual I've got is me standing out in front of my storefront, turning cartwheels and turning signs to try to attract people. That's cold audience, right? So we're pulling people in with a paid ad, and they are cold to us. And then you try to build a relationship with them. Whereas with organic, you're connecting online. They're getting to know you and your expertise, and you're building that connection, and they're joining your list. They're talking to you in the DMs, and the relationships start to form, and the business starts to be built on trust, which is where the long-lasting businesses focus. So let's talk about, there's a hidden ROI, return on your investment, with organic marketing. When you don't spend money on ads, you have more margin for growth. You have more money to invest in decisions, programs, coaches like me that will help you execute your organic marketing strategies. And when you have consistent content like I teach, that builds that credibility and long-term discoverability with SEO and now AEO through Google, YouTube, podcasts, ChatGPT. AI is getting into the mix now. You're going to become more discoverable on those search engines. And organic traffic, it converts at higher rates than paid ads because, as I mentioned, it comes from a warm, trusted relationship. You're establishing credibility. You're warming people up and pulling them to you. Pull marketing strategies rather than pushing at a cold audience with a paid ad that has no idea who you are. And then you have to work so much harder to warm them up and gain their trust. That consistent visibility that I talk about with organic marketing, we want you to get that consistent visibility so that you get the list growth and the leads coming in on autopilot, because consistent visibility gives you consistent clients, which gets you to that consistent monthly income way faster than paid ads can. And listen, people think that I hate paid ads. I don't. Let me just say that for the record. For me, they have been a waste of money. For me, they have been a disappointment. But for some of you, your audience is completely different than mine, and you might not have to spend as much on ads to get good leads. So paid ads can come later in your business after you've established and are converting using organic marketing strategies. Let's exhaust all the free stuff before we go paying for anything, right? And once you've mastered list growth, leads coming in, you find your content rhythm and your audience connections, then paid ads can come into the mix to amplify what you've already built. Organic first growth, as we're talking about right now, gives you proof of concept, messaging, offers, audience, so that when you go to spend your money on a paid ad, it actually converts for you and you end up getting a return on your investment. So what is your action plan? I want you to think about your visibility. I want you to be really honest with yourself. I want you to give yourself an audit. Nobody likes that word, but it's necessary. Give yourself a review. Let's use that word instead of audit. Review. Are you showing up? And tell me in the comments if you're listening to me right now. Are you showing up weekly where your ideal audience hangs out or your potential collaboration partners are hanging out? Are you showing up? Are you being consistent with your social media content every week? And you know that I say this all the time. What I mean when I say consistent is you do not have to post 7 days a week on every platform to be successful. When I say consistent, I mean delivering one regular piece of weekly content and then deciding how many days a week you have the energy and bandwidth to post on social media. It could be 3 days a week. But if you're consistent with that over time, it's going to pay off for you. So, and are you delivering that one regular piece of weekly content to allow your audience to get to know you and your level of expertise and to warm them up to you? Are you going live, or are you doing a pre-recorded video? Do you have a podcast or a blog that you can share where people can get to know you and get to trust you and see your credibility and your expertise? And are you promoting your lead magnets consistently? This is a gap in and a leak in visibility that I see a lot. We forget about our lead magnets. We forget to promote our paid offers. We forget to promote our free Facebook group, our podcast, our blog. So are you promoting the things that could bring you the leads? And your paid offers, let's talk about those again for a second. Are you promoting those? I was talking to one of my clients a year or so ago, and she said, "Oh my gosh, I just remembered I wrote a book." And she was not promoting it at all. And we could take that book and repurpose that content into some free stuff and to some paid stuff too. So think about, what do you have in your business already? And are you really using it to its fullest extent? I want you to also ask yourself, okay, maybe you're showing up online, maybe you're showing up in communities, but are you actually making connections? Sending friend requests, sending connect requests like on LinkedIn, making connections in the DMs, doing coffee chats, showing up virtually and networking. Because you absolutely can build a successful online business organically first before considering anything paid. And if you go back and you do that audit, I think you're going to see some gaps in your visibility and some gaps in your growth that you're going to be able to work on. So what we've talked about here is everything that I teach in Business Visibility Made Easy. It's my 8-week group coaching program. The doors are open right now. I want you to come in and learn over 10 fresh list growth and lead strategies that I created by myself. These are fresh strategies nobody else teaches, and we layer them in the proper order so we get that list growth and those leads coming in automatically every day in the background of your business. And the alums in my program, we had our mastermind meeting this morning, and they reminded me, "Tracy, what sets you apart in this program is the fact that it is a high attention, small group mastermind." I am not a big name. I do not have thousands of people joining my program. We have a very curated small group that's going through, and this round probably will land somewhere between 20 and 25 people. So if you are tired of buying courses and either not starting them or never finishing them, this program is completely different. I get my students results. My students get the program finished. My students put the strategies in place, and they get the growth organically that they want. Then we can talk about running paid ads. All right. So if you're ready for fresh strategies that are going to allow you to break through the noise of the online space, grow that email list of your ideal clients, and then convert them from the leads into buyers, this is the program you want to join. I am a master when it comes to sales, when it comes to bringing in the leads and helping you know how to move them through your funnel so they convert. And you're going to know how to get all of your social media profiles working for you to actually grow your list. Yes, your social media profile can be a list growth funnel for you with the way that I teach. You're also going to learn how to create less content. How does that sound? Less content than you've been creating, because the content we're going to create together is going to be strategic and it's going to be more effective. And you're going to know how to navigate every nook and cranny of the platform you love most. I teach Facebook, but people take my strategies and they go over to LinkedIn and they go over to Mighty Network School, Heartbeat, and they rock the house. And you're going to learn how to build your own community if you want to, and navigate other communities that you're in, as I mentioned to you, even the ones that don't allow promotion of any kind, and continually attracting those ideal clients to your list day in and day out. We also work through collaborations, networking, podcast guesting, how to do it, how to pitch it, where to find them, what to say, and what to do afterward to get the most out of the time you spent. My students routinely tell me they wish they'd found me first, because they didn't think about building an audience and a list before they went to create their offers. So in this program, you've got me by your side. It's like having me in your pocket, because you're in a private student-only free Facebook group, first of all, and you need help with your homework. You post in the group, you tag me. I come in and I do a Loom video for you to review what you've done and tell you in real time. You will hear my voice reviewing what you've done and giving you advice and next steps. That is one of many ways that makes this program different. Then I am live with you every week for our live Q&A call. We are on Zoom, Brady Bunch style. You see me, I see you. You raise your hand because you have a question. You unmute, you ask me your question. I answer all of your questions. I do ask everybody to be really clear and concise with their questions in the interest of time, but I don't filter your questions. I don't cherry pick your questions. I don't put you on a timer. I am there as your coach to help you. That is The biggest way my program is 100% different from all the other programs you've been through. It's time for you guys to get off the sidelines and into the online space without overwhelm so you can finally get to your goal of consistent monthly income. I want you to go to tracybeavers.com/BVME, Boy, Victor, Mary, Edward, for business visibility made easy. And I'll put the link into the comments on LinkedIn and on Facebook, in my free Facebook group for you guys to see it. And here's the thing, if you're on the fence about the program, because if you are like many people I know, I forgot to turn my phone alarm off. You got to love that. It's live. If you're like many people I know, you have bought lots of courses. Some of them you haven't started. A lot of them you haven't finished because there's been nobody there to hold your hand and help you. There's been nobody there to hold you accountable, to tell you the shortcut roadmap. Also in this program, speaking of shortcuts and precision, we have custom GPTs. So when it comes to maximizing your social media profiles, we have a custom GPT for that. If you can push a button, you can get that done in a hurry with precision. Social media content, mapping that out so you know week in, week out what you're going to work on and what you're going to create and put out to your audience. We have a custom GPT for that. It's amazing. So if you're on the fence, DM me, email me, tracy@tracybeavers.com. Let's book a short call, or you could just ask me your questions in the DMs. I want to know about your business. I want to know what you've been struggling with so that I can know if this program is the right fit for you right now. And if it's not, I'll tell you that. All right, my friends, let me check for questions and comments really fast. I'm going to pop this into my free Facebook group really fast there. There we go. For some reason, I am not seeing the comments, so I will have to come back. All right. I don't see any questions for today, so I'm going to let y'all have a few minutes of your day back. Be here live with me every Thursday at 11:30 Central. Put it on your Google Calendar and set a phone alarm. I want you to remember not to go this alone. Being an entrepreneur is freaking hard. Some days everybody wants to buy what you're selling, and other days nobody can remember your name. And if you think you're alone, you're absolutely not. I want you to have a great balance of the week and weekend. And I want you to remember that when one of us rises, we all rise. So we have got to keep cheering each other on. I will see you guys next week, Thursday at 11:30 Central.